Hey, what's going on? I was just out riding around town on my motorcycle, and guess what? The temperature dropped. So it is sweatshirt weather, but I did have an idea for a, a pretty good lesson idea about chords. So, my students that I see weekly are struggling with things like the basic majors and minors, just trying to keep that straight. To them, many of them, a seventh chord seems kind of uh, far out. But I'm going to take you beyond that to what I think is the next step you might want to try is major seven. So this is going to kind of, major seventh has kind of a really soft, melodic, kind of jazzy ballad quality. It's very, while minors are kind of dark and majors are bright, sevenths to me sort of are a little bit brash. The major seventh is kind of like a comfort, soft chord, and it will kind of take your ear on a little bit of a trip. You can kind of imagine some certain things here, so you might get some pictures in your mind. Let's do it. Let's keep it easy for a second here, and then I'll get into some more advanced shapes. Let's say you did a really easy G chord like this. That's like a D, G, B, G. To make a major seventh, it's going to look like this. So I'm going to change this G down to a F sharp. It's kind of nice. That's a major seventh. So the formula is we're going to add the seventh note of the scale. So if we played a G major scale and you count them, you'll see the seventh note is the F sharp. Yeah, seventh note of the scale is F sharp. So the formula would be root, third, fifth, seventh. Don't confuse that with a dominant seventh chord. That'd be a G7 like this. On a dominant seventh chord, we're going to flat that seventh. So again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then flat it. That's a dominant seventh chord. A lot different. So that's what I was calling brash, kind of bossy sound, while the major seventh is kind of submissive. A lighter sound, while the dominant seventh is much more kind of demanding in quality and sound quality. That's the picture it paints in my head. So maybe start with that. Let's have some fun. Let's say you want to do a G major seventh, but a little different voicing. Check this out. This is almost the same, but physically a lot different. So that's a G, B, D, F sharp. I'm based at the 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd frets. The advantage of this is it's movable. Very movable. Very cool shape. That's a major 7th, G major 7. So again, that's G, B, D, F sharp. You could, let's try a different one. Let's do a C major. To make a C major 7, you're just going to drop off your pointer finger. Let that second string be open B. Because that's the 7th note of a C major scale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count to 7, do your scale. Add the 7th note of a C major scale into your chord, and you got a C major 7. Now, let's have a little fun. Let's go C major, C major 7, yeah. And now a C dominant 7. Does that remind you of a song? Something in the way she moves. Yeah, so often you might go major to major 7th to dominant 7. That's very cool. Let's do a D major 7. So here's D major. Let's do our scale. There's our 7th degree of the scale. Looks like a C sharp. So we're going to add it to a D major chord. It will look like this. Fun. So if I go D major 7, D7, check it out. You've heard that in songs. Kind of wants to go to G. Or G7. So there, we've done G, C, and D. How about A major 7? Here's an A chord. Do our scale. There's the 7th note of the scale. G sharp. Add that to our chord. It just mellows it out, doesn't it? You could go A major 7 to D major 7. It would be like a 2-chord jam. So like if you're doing a song about a baby duck or something, or a kitten, a puppy, a meadow, flowers, gentle rain, you know, a lullaby, a pink pony or something, you know, it's just sort of, it's got that soft quality. Doing a song about a pillow or something, clouds. It's got that soft, dreamy quality. It's kind of fun to use. It can be ironic or it can be sincere. You can, you know, put it where you want it. So that's just 0, 1, 0, 2, 1, 2, 0. Sorry, that was confusing. Here's A. Just drop this note down. Which is really what we're doing. We're just dropping the root down 1 fret. So yeah, that's major 7. So we did, what did we do? G, C, D, A. Let's do E. Here's E major. If we drop our E down a 1/2 step, we have this. So that's kind of weird because it's so dark and muddy that in that lower octave. So that one is a little weird sounding. You could also, let's say here's an E major. Check this out. So here's our higher root. Drop that down. That sounds a little better, a little more clear. It's like a E, B, E, B, D sharp, G sharp. So those would be covering like our caged chords not necessarily in the order of C, A, G, E, D. When you go into bar chords, stuff like this, very common. I would recommend learning these. That's a G major 7, like a G with your pointer finger, D with your middle on the 2nd string 3rd fret, ring finger, 4th string 4th fret, there's your F sharp, pinky, 3rd string 4th fret. You're going to mute the A string and try to skip the 1st string or mute it. That chord, I think, is a very good one to learn because it sort of opens you up to more jazz type chords. If you're playing in a jazz band and that said play a G something and you're going, they're like, please leave. That's not cool, man. Get that redneck stuff out of here. Too square. You got to be cool. You got to cool that chord down. Get some humanity in your playing. Quit chopping down the forest. Just be cool, man. Exist. So the advantage of that is you can move. I'm just moving at random places, but it does sound pretty cool. So that might really twist your fingers into a weird knot. If so, take a breath, relax, and try it again. Push yourself a little bit here. Pointer, middle. You can do that. Pointer, middle. Bring in the ring and the pinky. Basically, it's an A minor shape here. You know, A minor with different fingers. Just get your root over here. So leave your pointer free. Use middle, ring, pinky to make an A minor shape. Here's A minor. Rebuild it, slide it up, and get that index on the root. This will open you up to things like dominant 7s, 6 chords, minor 7s, minor 6, minor 7 flat 5. There's a whole network of cool things you can do when you learn this kind of voicing. So I think the major 7 is a real good start. Let's do it again. Index, middle, ring, pinky. G, D, F sharp, B. Yeah, take your time, man. You got her. And you're going to mute the A string. Totally normal, very common, basic chord. But again, I understand you're barely learning you barely know like 20 chords, and now we're slamming you with this. But if you push yourself through, challenge yourself, step it up a little bit, don't collapse, don't run from it, dig in, learn that chord. All right? Then you'll be ready to move on to some bigger stuff. You'll thank me later. Get uncomfortable and let's grow together. All right, speaking of growth, if you would subscribe to my channel, that would be super cool. I am taking my lesson today with my guitar teacher, so I'm going to check in, see when he's ready, and if I learn anything good, I'll pass it on. So thanks a lot.